The Panzer VIII is known as the Mouse. It is an incredibly heavy tank weighing in at over 188 tons, and it was supposed to have a 12.8 centimeter armament mounted on the vehicle. However, we are not going to be talking about the Panzer VIII in today's video. We are going to be notching down two numbers and playing in the Panzer VI. Now, for any World War II fanatics out there, you know that I'm talking about the Tiger I, otherwise known as the Panzer VI. Now, this is a fantastic vehicle in World of Tanks Blitz, and it's a fantastic vehicle if you were in Germany in the 1940s, because, yeah, this vehicle was virtually impossible to penetrate when it was first developed in World War II by any Allied forces, until the larger barreled 76mm on vehicles like the Sherman Firefly and the EZ-8 came out. This thing was virtually unstoppable. Even T-34s were not able to penetrate this vehicle until they added the 85mm armament. Now in Blitz, it's also a fantastic tank. Obviously, it carries that world-renowned 8.8 centimeter cannon, which has incredible DPM for heavy at 2412, amazing dispersion at .308, which is the same as most tier 10 mediums, and it's got a pretty solid aiming time at 4.5 seconds. I mean, it's not great on the aiming time. It will take a bit before you can actually hit your shot if you're driving at your, what is it, like 44 km/h speed? Yeah, it's pretty quick. So you can go 44 forwards, a power to weight of 15, which means that you're pretty quick actually on acceleration. And the final thing is that this tank actually has very good frontal armor. I think it's about 150, actually they buffed it to 178mm on the frontal armor. That means that this whole lower plate here, if you angle it like this, is going to be about 200mm thick. And obviously that means that most tier 8s are going to cut through you, but tier 7s are not going to be having as easy of a time. And tier 6, well, don't even get me started on how hard it is for a tier 6 to cut through the Tiger. It's basically a medium tank with a medium gun and medium mobility, just with a super heavy profile. It's an incredible tank, plus it holds a lot of hit points. I remember all the way back when Bushka was posting videos left, right, and center, and he loved the Tiger I. Now, personally, I like the Tiger Porsche better, otherwise known as the Tiger P. It's an incredible tank. It's very similar to the Tiger, just a more heavily armored variant that's slower, but carries the same gun, and I think it even has the same statistics for the gun. So, I like the Tiger P, but I always remember that Bushka always called it a medium tank, just with the benefit of having hit points like a heavy. And that is what this tank really is. It's a medium, but since they've buffed it so much on the front, it can actually bounce quite occasionally. Now, in a tier 8 game like this, as I said, vehicles like the 112-2, Tiger II, Jagdpanther 3, and the IS-3 are not going to struggle to cut through this armor. But thankfully, this vehicle does have a very nice gun, which has about 203mm of standard pen, and I think around 230 on the premium, which isn't anything amazing, but for a tier 7, that's pretty solid. I mean, you're not going to have to load the premium that much, and if you do, you're probably going to cut through most frontal armor. Big weaknesses are the flat front, the flat sides, and flat rear, because it's a flat tank, and that means if you ever have a flat angle on this vehicle, it's quite easy to penetrate. But a nice thing about it being flat is that you can also angle it like this and get some pretty solid bounces. Although, speaking of bounces, we somehow managed to bounce that IS-3 right on the front. But there you go, that is a perfect bounce to showcase. Wow, this gun, though, is really not connecting shells right now. Well, we're going to try our best and see if we can connect some here. Let's see if we can maybe... I'm thinking he's right there. Nah, I guessed wrong. I can see his armor now, and we just got penned by something. But, yeah, there you go. Finally connecting a shell. And we got penned right in the lower plates. Now, that was about 290 damage. But I don't know what to actually do that. Maybe a stock Jagdpanther 2, because apart from that, maybe the Leo? I don't really know what would actually do that. We'll find out, I guess, later. But there's the IS, and there's a second shell cutting through his frontal armor. So we've already taken about 440 hit points off of his tank. Maybe we can load a premium shell. And there you go, another nice tap straight through the IS. I mean, we're getting some pretty solid damage out here. We've already basically diminished his hit point pool. And now we've got tanks like the IS-3, which we can't really pen right now, but I thought HE would do at least something, but no. That is a big fat no on the HE damage coming out of this vehicle currently. Yeah, maybe we can, yeah, look at that. We're doing nothing. Heck yeah. All right, this is not going as well. Oh, you know what, actually, it could have been the Tiger that hit me for that 200 damage now that I think about it. But, I mean, we're doing okay. We've already penned that Tiger once, so we got this IS-3 who's still just kind of chillaxing over here. There's not much we can really do to him until he pokes out his hull, and even then, you can still see the pen is not amazing when trying to cut through tier 8 armor profiles. Now we do have the Jagdpanther 2 over here, who is probably in a struggle, and with that I'm going to drive the heck away, because I see that struggle, and I don't want to be any part of that, because I know what's going to happen. He's going to get hit by that Tiger 2, and I'm going to be next. So let's get the heck out of there, using that good top speed of 44 kilometers per hour, and try and deal with people like these tanks over here, maybe the T-20, or, you know, tanks that I don't need to worry about. Yeah, I'm glad I actually got out of there. I think that was a much smarter and safer decision. There goes the IS-3, chunking a big shell into the rear of my teammate, but that's not going to stop me. Actually, let's see if we can get it. No, traverse was just a little bit too slow. But here we go, in for the T-20. Come on, speed and power is key. Let's use that mobility, and let's give this guy a little bit of a love tap. Boom! There you go, 459 hit points, and we even got a bounce. Now we got the IS-3 off to the side. We know where the Tiger Tune 112-2 was, so I'm expecting that, yes, this IS-3 is alone. Now, one crazy thing about the Tiger is that we actually have a lot more DPM than a tank like this IS-3. And even though he penned me, I can plop on Adrenaline, and, well, you can see the penetration on this tank, even with Standard, is plenty to cut through armor. And, I mean, we outtrade this guy 3 shots to 1 shot, so we're going to pen him. Oh, actually, maybe even 4. There you go. That's 4 pens, and look at that, bounce rate on the frontal armor. I mean, that's just what this tank can do. So let's just keep ripping into his frontal plate and, well, yeah, say goodbye to the IS-3. Yeet! Goodbye, comrade. Now we've got the Tiger 2 and the 112-2 left. Now, unlike the IS-3, the 112-2 does have some incredible armor going for it, which will make it much harder to cut through. And in this specific scenario right there, we did just lose about all of our health to the enemy tanks. So that is not fantastic. In fact, I'm just going to drive away. I don't trust my armor, as I said before, against a Tiger 2. That vehicle has very, very good penetration, enough to turn my armor into Swiss cheese. But we're almost at 3,000 damage, and in fact, one more penetration, and we will be at 3,000 damage, which is pretty solid when you do think about it. So I don't even care if I die. That's all I wanted, baby. 3,080 damage in this game. And that is the Tiger for you. It's a fantastic vehicle. It looks great. I got my Gamescom camo on it, which makes it just look even smoother of a vehicle. And I guarantee when Wargaming finally adds PBR files to this tank, it is going to look beautiful. There we go, 3,330 damage, right on the dot. But yeah, that was a really, really solid game. I really enjoy playing this tank. So let's get one more battle out. Hopefully we get in a tier 7 game, but maybe not up against Smashers. Now, the Tiger hasn't been changed much in the last months of the game, but it still is, as you saw there, very, very capable of easily turning the tides of a battle. I mean, sure, my team wasn't great, and neither was the enemy. We watched that very clearly. But you don't need a great team to showcase what 2,400 DPM is capable of doing. Just to put in an idea, 2,400 DPM is about the highest DPM you'll find on a tier 8 heavy tank. A vehicle like that T-32, yeah, that's sitting at about 2,100 DPM. AMX 5100, probably about 2,000 DPM. I mean, the highest DPM tanks you'll find is that one right there, the, what is it, Carnarvon Action 10, and that vehicle's got about 2,700 DPM if you're running gun rammer. That is the highest DPM for a tier 8 heavy tank. So you can realize that this thing is not far off from super incredible DPM. And judging that you saw the armor is capable of bouncing even some tier 8s, and it's very mobile, there's nothing bad to say about this tank. It's probably one of the best tier 7 heavies in the game. I put it right up there with the Black Prince. So let's see what we can do here. Speed and power is key. Enemy team has a T-32, and the only medium I have to worry about is maybe the T-95E2. But the funniest part about that is I have the same DPM as the T-95E2. So I'm a tier 7 with more hit points, more armor, and better pen, and yeah, basically all better than a tier 8 medium. So what do we have? Well, there's the T-32 up top the hill. And maybe we can get some shells into his tank. Come on, speed and power. Oh, come on, back up. Or just chill there. I mean, it's fine with me. Whatever he decides to do, we're just gonna chill over here. Now, you might be wondering why I've decided to push my Tiger over to this spot. Well, that's one reason, I guess I could say why, is because yeet, one... What the heck was that? Okay, well, apparently not. Apparently we're just gonna miss a pretty easy shot. But we do have that T-32 off to the side, who we also missed. As I said before, 4.5 seconds of aiming time isn't bad, but you do gotta wait for it to aim. And judging that this vehicle's on-movement dispersion isn't crazy, it's not going to hit every shot. I mean, there's that aiming time finally going in, and boom! Perfect shell flying right into the ISU-152. We're going to aim in one more shell on this tank, and boom! .308 dispersion. It's good, but it's not amazing. I'll put it like that. Oh, there you go. Nice tap in there. All right, let's see. Come on, get another shell out, and yeet! There you... Okay, we got that ISU over here. Maybe we can snag a shell into him. Oh my god. This is just... I'm not even gonna... You know, I'm not even gonna put my blame on the tank. The tank itself is fantastic. I mean, we just saw last game where the gun is incredible. Unfortunately, every now and then you will get a rough streak of RNG where your shots will do what they've been doing this battle. So I'm not even going to slightly blame this tank because it's been doing fine. Just, yeah, the battle hasn't been going great for my RNG. But there you go. Nice shot into the T95E2. And his battle is basically over. He is going to kill my FE301. But thankfully, we have more hit points than both of those tanks combined. And we also have more DPM than both of those tanks combined, which is good. Very good, to be exact. But now we do not have more hit points than both of those tanks combined. What I'm trying to do is get my tank over here, because if I can get it into this position and over the hill, we should be able to work our turreted tank against a non-turreted vehicle. So let's see if we can do that. There you go. One nice shot into that SU-101. And the best part is, as I said, it does not actually have an incredible amount of DPM. So, ooh, that was a pretty weird shell, should I say there. Yes, my English is fantastic. And we're losing the trade to the SU-101. Hopefully this Defender Mark 1 helps me out here, but there you go. Nice tap into the SU. Let's put on our Adrenaline now, and let's see if we can get some pretty beefy shells into his tank. There you go. Nice bounce again. That's the fantastic armor just doing its job. And there goes you, and let's tap you, and he's dead. So sure, this game wasn't as good as the first one. Clearly, the gun did not work as well. But I'm not going to knock the gun. It's still a great gun. The aiming time, it's good. It's not fantastic, but it's definitely very good. Its dispersion is very, very good at .308. Its DPM is out of the water, and it can basically fight tier 8s. I mean, again, I was fighting a tier 8 tank destroyer, and I honestly think I probably could have beat him. The armor is incredibly troll on the front. It looks like it's a pen, and because it's flat, then you just kind of angle it like this, and then what you were aiming at before that was a very easy pen is now red. So it's really troll, and I like that because it's a thick lower plate and a thick upper plate. So let me know what you guys think about the Tiger or the Panzer VI in World of Tanks Blitz. If you don't have this tank, I'd highly suggest to try it. It's a tier 7, it grinds up to the E100, which is a fantastic line on its own, and as well, you can even split. Actually, can you split? No, you can't. I take that back. The Tiger P goes to the mouse and the VK. But either way, the Tiger's a fantastic vehicle. The E100's a fantastic tank, and it's even one of the most played heavies in Blitz. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye!